What's up? Nobody's here. I had a feeling no one would show up because it's Thanksgiving and they're all doing the family thing and getting ready to get fat from eating too much turkey. But it's all right. I don't care. Anyway, I didn't make my bed. Oh well. I'll just do this. Try to hide it. Come on, chair. Go over here. There we go. All better. What's up, Chris? So, yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Everybody's over frickin' doing everything. What's up, Sergio and Ian? Yep. It's Thanksgiving. Another happy day in paradise. Getting rid of the candy. Sorry about that. Probably whacked the mic, didn't I? That must have been loud. Oh well. Too late now. Coffee. Good coffee. This is really good coffee. And it's I don't know what brand. Because I buy big jugs of like Folgers cheap crap because I'm not a coffee snob, but I do like good coffees. And I had like a pound of like somebody bought me really nice. Actually, I had 2 pounds of like almost espresso quality coffee, really super strong, and some hazelnut, which again I'm not a big fan of, but I like to mix it. No, I'm not cooking. Anyway, they were all a little bit, so I just threw them all in one big jug. So there's I got one of those, I don't know, Folgers big things that was basically empty, but I put all the other like leftovers and mixed it all together, and it's good. It's got a whole bunch of different kinds of coffee all mixed together, and it's tasty. No, I'm not actually cooking. My brother wasted a whole bunch of money on the old Lime Inn, which none of you guys know, but it's a snooty, uppity, very snobby restaurant, which is funny because we all worked there as kids. Growing up, that's what you did. There's no McDonald's or anything in town, so there was like the 3 Bean Thistle, Old Lime Inn, and then Limelight, which Limelight's now gone, but those were the 3 restaurants in town. And you as a kid, you wash dishes in the restaurant. That's what you did in high school on the weekends. Everybody did that at school. But anyway, it's a very uppity, rich kind of snobby snob restaurant. And he spent $135 a person for me and my mother to have dinner. And it's all pre-cooked. I got to just reheat it. And then there's a boatload. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of food there. But it was $130 a person. I was like, come on, dude. It's such a waste of money. I mean, I appreciate it and everything. I don't have to cook turkey, and Mom gets a turkey because I wasn't going to cook a turkey because there's no point in cooking a turkey for just the 2 of us. So that wasn't going to happen. He's like, well, you got to have turkey. I'm like, no, you really don't. Be honest, I prefer like chicken or a hamburger anyways. I'm not a big turkey fan. I mean, I'll eat it. It's all right. It's just always dry and kind of blah. The best part about turkey is all the crap you do with it after. Because that's the only way it stays moist, making turkey soup, which is probably what I'm going to make with most of it. There is 2 trays, like, the restaurant aluminum trays, like they bring, when they cater food, those big aluminum trays. There's 2 of those, plus like sides and apple pie and the slices of apple pie. There's 4 slices per pie. They're big, huge slices. And gravies and mashed potatoes, and these 2 platters are just the turkey. And you gotta, put them in the oven and reheat it and all that. Yeah. I actually like, if I'm going to do it, I like cooking the whole turkey over just the breast. I've done the breast too, but I like cooking the whole turkey because I do make soup with it. And when I make soup, I break up the bones and boil it. And I actually pressure cook it now in the pressure cooker for an hour. with vegetables and water and whatever, and make the broth, and then make turkey soup out or chicken soup out of it. I usually if it's just the two of us, I'll do a chicken. I'll just get a small, like 3 to 5 pound chicken, and because we'll eat, I'll slice up, make sandwiches for a couple of days, and then the last of it I'll grind up and make turkey soup out of, or chicken soup out of. Well, whatever. But it was like $130. I mean, it comes with this big, huge salad, which I won't touch because it's spinach salad, and I can't stand spinach. This stuff's nasty. I mean, it's overkill in the amount of food there, which, whatever. What's up, Dance? Yeah, I wouldn't. Steak and lobster sounds better to me. And I've done the ham thing too, but I'm not a big ham fan. Again, I'll eat it, but it's just not the best. The best one I've ever done, like 4 or 5 years ago, when my father first started getting sick. I mean, he wasn't sick, but we took his license away because he was going blind, and he was forgetting stuff, and we knew what was coming. So that was the first year I cooked turkey where Mom wasn't able. And it was just the three of us, and one of my aunts came over because her husband had just passed, and her kids one of them was in the military, and anyway. So it was just the four of us, and I did little Cornish game hens, and those were good. That's like the perfect amount for one person, especially, elderly people, and you do the mashed potatoes and all that. And I was going to do that this year, and I went to buy them. $8 a piece for the little Cornish game hen. Frozen, not even fresh. You get 2 of them for $16. I was like, no, I can buy a whole 5 pound freaking chicken for that. There's a llama farm. I hear alpaca is actually pretty tasty. Most alpaca farms are for the fur. Have you ever used an alpaca blanket? Not to even push it, but which is really funny. I found these alpaca blankets, and I got one, and it's really, really super ridiculously soft. It is unbelievably awesome. It's softer than cotton or wool. It's kind of like wool, but it's even softer. It's so awesome. So I bought a whole boatload of them for Christmas one year because I got them. They were normally like $75 or $80, and I got them for like $20 a piece. So I bought them, gave them to everybody for Christmas one year. Come to find out, I'm allergic to freaking alpacas. I'm allergic to llamas. Screw with my nose, make my head swim. Can't breathe, coughing all the time. Warm, comfy, soft. Can't have one in my room. Took me like a month to figure it out. I thought I was just getting a cold or something. And it was actually when I was living out in Long Island. My landlady borrowed it. It was, I don't know, something. Oh, she was doing laundry and forgot to bring it in. It rained and her blankets got all yucky. So I was like, here, take this for a couple of days. I just washed it. And I gave it to her to use. Yeah, I'm allergic to llamas. It's funny. I gave it to her, and all of a sudden my nose cleared up. And literally the day she brought it back down, she washed it and brought it back down like a week later because, give it back to me. And within like 10 minutes of that thing coming into the room, I was like, and I'm like, no way. Can it be the blanket? I took the blanket, put it out in the garage because that's where she had a laundry room out in the garage. And 10 minutes later, with the windows open, my nose cleared up. I'm like, well, I guess I'm allergic to the blanket. I'll try anything once within reason. I had a friend that worked up in Vermont, and he worked at this restaurant that it was like this English pub wannabe thing, and they served all kinds of exotic meats from all over the world. It was another snooty. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Periwinkles up in Stowe, Vermont. Anyway, he used to cook all kinds of it. I worked at Copper Beach for years and years and years, which is a exotic French restaurant, but we used to call it French style because it wasn't classic French, but they did a lot of French style stuff. They cooked most things in the French style. So I ate a lot of weird, like sweetbreads, which are disgusting. I'm sorry. It's not even a flavor. They're just chewy and gross, and I don't need meat waffle. And ostrich and kangaroo and what the hell else do we eat? I don't know. He had all kinds of bear, and they were all farm grown too, which I thought was weird because I didn't know there was farm grown like bear. And I guess in Iceland or Greenland, one or the other, I can't remember which, they have deer farms where they grow venison. And I'll tell you what, that is by and far the best venison I have ever had. That was good. We had venison frickin' filet mignon. Filet? No, I think the bear was filet. I think the venison was the tenderloin. That's what it was. The venison was tenderloins. Oh, they were so good. Super awesome. Not really that strong. It actually had meat. Like, I don't know if most people in the U.S. have caught a deer. Deer are pretty much wild. If you've had venison, it's kind of wild venison. It's okay. I like it, but if you eat it plain, it's kind of dry and chewy because they're so lean because they don't eat well. Yep, if I had elk, had squirrel, that was gross. It is like chicken. It's literally if you cook it right and you break the back legs off, it's like a little, you think it's a little chicken wing. You don't even realize it's a squirrel leg. The only thing I haven't had is frog. I've never had frog legs. Yeah, the venison is, farm grown venison is so different than wild caught deer. It's so much tenderer, because they're lazy. They don't have to work as hard. They're not as lean. It was actually, like marbled fat like you get with the new cows with the Angus beef. Yeah, I just never, no place I've ever gone has ever served them or had them. I actually had a place down in Florida when I was down in Fort Lauderdale that served them. And we went to order them as a joke and just get a half a dozen of them for an appetizer. And they were out. Which I find funny in Florida because there's freaking frogs everywhere down there. It's like all you got to do is go in the backyard and catch a half a dozen. Those little freaking lizards everywhere, or whatever they're called. Them things are freaking everywhere down there. They get in your house. You leave the door open for 5 minutes, like bringing the groceries in, and there'll be 2 or 3 lizards scurrying around your floor down in Miami. They were pretty funny. The little lizards down in Florida. I need to print something. What can I print? I gotta plug the fan back in. I need to finish redesigning the fans for the freaking Omnia drop. Fans are just too loud. They're so very loud. So very, very loud. I just can't get it to wrap the way I want for the park cooling fan. I've got the actual hot end fan designed and built, but I need to make the park cooling fan. Yeah. Yep. Frog legs is just not worth it. You get like a half a bite at every leg. It's kind of the same with squirrel. It's more work freaking skinning it and everything than it's worth. The little meat you get out of it. I mean, if it comes down to it, it'll sustain you. But you need to catch about a dozen of them for a decent meal. And it's like blue crabs too. Blue crabs are big around here because they always come in and they come into the sound real heavily in the late summer, early fall. Late summer, early fall, yeah, midsummer, early fall, and midsummer, late summer, somewhere around there. But they're just everyone makes a big deal about them around here because they're good and everything, but it's such a pain in the ass. You gotta catch 1,000 of the freaking things to get anything out of them. And pulling the bodies apart to get any meat out of them is just not worth it to me. The only much worth anything are the legs, and it's like this little twig of meat inside the shell. Everybody eats them when they're molten, and they soft shell crab, and eat the whole damn thing, shell and all. And it's like no, nope, not for me. Can't do it. The hell is V-Rab? Lobster is easy. I'm not a big on lobster, more because working at the Copper Beach, I worked there for 15 years. Between everything, I dishwashed, I cooked, I did desserts, I did pastries, I did everything in that place at one point in time or another. We did so many lobsters because we do the lazy man lobster there, where we crack it open and your dinner basically is the tail and the claws, and then the body we break down and using like lobster biscuit stuff. And cracking 20 or 30 of those things every night just gets to be, you don't want to see another lobster ever. Well, crab's good. I like snow crab, king crab, snow crab. I love that crab. Those legs are awesome. Yeah, I know that feeling, Robbie. Fat fingers, little phone, can't spell anyways. That would be me. What's up, Mr. Carnes? Anybody want to hop in here? Not listen to me babble, but have someone else babble that probably has better babble than me, because I'm not the best babbler. I'm good at babbling, but I'm not the best babbler. I'm only going to do this for like another half an hour or so. I'm only going to do it till noon. Because I got to go make turkey. I got to put it in the oven and preheat it. And Mom wants to have a late lunch instead of lunch or dinner for turkey. So about 1 o'clock, I'm going to put it in the oven. So it'll be done with this by noon, so I can do some other things before that happens. Wham. Holidays are just not fun for me. It just causes stress. Just assume they not happen. Be honest. Lobster is, if you go about a mile that way, there's a million of them. You just drop a freaking cage down in the water. There's guys now that don't even bait it, because we weren't allowed to lobster fish here for a while because the power plant, nuclear power plant's right down the street, had a leak, and it was minor, but there was a radiation and or mercury into the sound. So there was like 2 or 3 years we were shut down. You couldn't have scallops, you couldn't have mussels, and you couldn't have any shellfish. You weren't supposed to eat it for like 2 years. So all the stuff boomed back up. We were actually getting to the point where it was overfished and boomed right back up. Now there's like millions of them out there. There's guys that are dropping their traps and they're not even baiting the trap. They just drop it and the freaking lobsters walk into the trap, just walking around the bottom of the sound. They just come. They walk into the trap. Look, here's something to crawl into. No, I know. Well, I've got the ocean sound. Ocean's about 10 miles that way, and the sound's right there. Pretty much the same thing. The only difference between the ocean and the sound is the sound has Long Island to break the big waves for us, so we don't get bad storms, as bad as storms, because Long Island breaks it mostly for us. They get wiped out, and we just get wind. And it's raining like a mother out now. It's like dumping. Raining. I actually got the window open over here, even though it's only 50 degrees out. Well, 55 degrees out now. I did turkey off, didn't I? Yep. Training kind of crappy, but I prefer fresh air. Yeah, there's definitely some advantages to living on the sound, on the water. There's actually some major disadvantages, like all the frickin' morons from Florida that are here right now. They don't just come in the summer. And this is the weekend where they close up permanently. This is the last weekend for all the owners of these summer beach houses. So we're inundated with New York, New Jersey, Florida. All of them people come up here and just invade this town. You know, during COVID, let's have all the Floridians up here, you know, because they don't care. Yeah, you can take your 63 degrees. It's pretty warm, actually. It's supposed to be warm again tomorrow and kind of nice. It's supposed to be sunny and warm tomorrow, mid-60s. You know, global warming doesn't exist, though. Won't go there. Anyway, on that note, yeah, I'm okay with that. The only problem is it's raining. No, take your Floridians back. It's all the old baddie ones, too. Drive around freaking 10 miles an hour. Oh, is that my road? Oh, no, man. Oh, is that my road? No, man. Pull the hell over and let me by. I don't need you to stop every freaking 30 feet to look and see if that's your road. Yeah, they're not even blue. They're just dead. They just haven't had the good grace to lie down and stop breathing. Sorry, it was evil, but I'm sorry. There's just so many of them around here this time of year. The good thing is after today, they're gone until like end of March. They just go away. Because they'll be calling all the plumbers. The plumbers will be going nuts, closing up all the houses and flushing all the water lines. 80% of the houses here are summer. They don't have any insulation or anything. And they antifreeze all the water lines and septic lines and everything for the winter so they don't freeze up and bust pipes and crap. So for the last month, the plumbers have been going nuts. And usually the bulk of them all start right after Thanksgiving. We get snow and freezing before now, but a day or two of below 30 doesn't hurt them generally. You won't bust pipes at that temperature unless it lasts for like a week. Generally. We've had it happen a few times. When it starts getting really cold in late September and October and November are below 30 every night. Especially on the waterfront because the sound doesn't get cold fast enough. So the ground groundwater never freezes, so it stays warm, so the pipes never burst. Most of them are single story on the beach because they're 2-story. They just get blown away in the next hurricane. People are building them 2-story houses now. I can't believe they're building 2 stories right on the beach. They ain't allowed to build on the beach anymore. I shouldn't say that. Your house gets blown out in a hurricane, can't build on the beach anymore. If your property's touching the sand, you're out. State's taking it over. It becomes state property once your house blows away. No more building on the sand. No more rebuilding on the sand. Can't do it. If your property is in direct contact with beachfront, your building cannot touch the actual beach anymore, even on stilts. Have to be, I don't know, 100 feet or 200 feet off the water or something now. And it won't fit. State takes your property, pays you said value for the property, and you're out. You do get paid for it. Which everyone's bitching. It's like, what are you bitching it for? You never use the damn house. You're there like 3 times a year. And you just got paid a couple $1 million for it. Just go away. Red light. What's up, red light? And we have Jakey Matt. Happy Turkey Day, blah, 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 humbug. Yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. I'm not a big holiday person. I enjoy the 4th of July and the summer holidays. The winter holidays are just a pain in the butt. Everybody makes a big deal and drives around and causes issues and blah. I went to go to the store yesterday, and there was literally a line getting into the parking lot. Not going into the store, getting into the parking lot at the local, Big Y. I was like, that ain't happening. Went to Dollar General and got the few things I absolutely needed, the milk and the eggs and that kind of crap. Said, I'll go back on Friday morning. Not going into that cluster. Not happening. Nothing to do with coronavirus or any of that crap. I just don't want to deal with the crowd. Bunch of freaking morons doing last minute shopping. Same thing I was, but I had enough sense to go, no. I'll go without. And they were about 80% Florida and New Jersey plates. There's very few Connecticut plates in there. All the beach people buying their food for the weekend. The Beachers and the Lakers. That makes it even worse. Not only do we have the beach, but we have the second largest lake on the other end of town. So both ends of town gets the beach housing, the beach population. We have the lake beachers and the sound beachers all in one town. I would rather do steak and lobster there, Robbie. Actually, I'd rather do steak and crab legs. I like snow or king crab legs. Actually, I like snow legs better. Snow crab legs. I like them better than the king crab legs. Yep. The summer morons. They've been gone. They basically go away like the end of September, and then they come back for Thanksgiving for the weekend, shut their houses up, and then we won't see them again until the end of March, early April. When they'll start showing up and opening the houses up, and then they rent them out all summer. Some of them little shacks, and I mean, they're little shacks. They're not much bigger than this room. I'm not exaggerating. Some of them are about the size of this room. And they rent them out for $2,000 and $3,000 a week. A week. They're little shacks with no insulation. I mean, there's areas you can literally see right outside. They are such holes. We used to call them chicken coops because they're just like a chicken coop. One of the chicken coops down on the beach. Yeah, you got the same thing down there. Yep, same thing. The only difference is most of Connecticut has private beaches. There's only 3, actually there's only 2 now, public beaches, and this is one of them. So not only do we have the summer residents, but we have all the morons that come down from Hartford and Massachusetts and everything during the summer. Because it's the only public beach without paying. Otherwise, you got to go to a state beach, and they charge you to go in. Later, Chris. Yeah, I'm probably, if no one's going to jump in here, I'm going to kill it in about 10 minutes, probably. I'm about done yakking it myself. Uh-oh. Somebody's outside breaking stuff. Puppy dogs barking. Puppy dogs. What's the puppy dog doing? Now I got to investigate. Where's Puppy? I hear Puppy. I don't see Puppy. I don't know. Puppy dog's around here somewhere barking. Everybody's got puppies around here now. Just got a new neighbor, I don't know, 6 months ago. They moved into that house again. And they got a puppy. They got a puppy. And they got a puppy. And he's got freaking 10 puppies. No exaggeration. He's literally got 10. Little freaking yappy rat dogs. Hate them things. All day long. He lets them out at 4 in the morning. Bark, 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 bark. Like this dog barking. That don't bother me. It's like bark, 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 bark. In a minute it'll stop. You know, it's like, hey, somebody's here. Bark, bark. Them little rat dogs are the whole time they're outside. Never shut the hell up. They just never shut up. He gets them outside, they're barking. Bark, 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 bark. He brings them inside, they're barking. I used to work for him. They bark constantly. Hate them little rat dogs. And they're not bad as an individual. Like, each dog is fine. I like the dog themselves. It said he's got 10 of the little things, and it's a herd of dogs going yappity yap. Then one starts, and the next one goes, 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 and then there's 10 freaking dogs go blah, 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 blah. Puntables, yep. Rat dogs. He used to get pissed at his wife. He didn't. He thought it was funny. He's kind of like I am. He likes his dogs, but he'd rather have real dogs, you know, dog, not them little purse things. I used to call them the talking footballs. Chew toys. Yeah. So if it's funny because around here we have some massive owls. Like some of them are like 3 foot tall and bigger. I mean, they are huge. And the osprey, there's a whole swamp, and the osprey have been nesting here for years since they came back. And we've had a lot of people with the little dogs, you know, with the little chihuahuas and stuff, that the birds will take away. They'll snag them in a heartbeat. And the only thing I think that saved him is he's got so many of them that, you know, the 8 or 10 dogs together keep the owls out. Because the owls have been snatching cats and dogs and chickens and anything they can. They're big owls. I didn't realize how big. There was one outside, I don't know, a month ago. He was out hanging out on my little trailer out there. He was just hanging out, sitting on the edge of the trailer. I was like, holy crap, that thing's huge. He's a big boy. I didn't even realize he was there. And, you know, I'm walking up the driveway, doing my thing, thinking I went to get the mail or something, just walking up the driveway. All of a sudden, the motion caught my eye, and, he's pivoting his head around, as I always do. I was like, frick me, that's a big-ass owl. Trolling by coyotes. Yeah. If you want a good one on that, you got to watch the, what the hell is his name? Bill Engvall or whatever his name is, where he does it about his little rat dog, and then he's got his real dog, and the coyotes tried to snatch the little rat dog, and the big dog takes him out. It's funny. It's like, don't go down there. That little dog's a trap. Anyway, I don't mind the little dogs, although most of them are, I don't get it. Most of them are ugly. I'm sorry, they just are. I mean, I know people can train them so they're not so yappy, but most people don't. They're just little yap dogs. I don't get why people want those things. They're little ugly, yappy, annoying. And they all shake, especially up here. I mean, Chihuahuas are not made to live in New England. It's too freaking cold for them. They're always twitching. Like, why? You want a dog? Get a dog. Get a lab or, a freaking golden retriever or, a real dog. A dog. You want a mouse catcher? Get a cat. That's what Chihuahuas are good for. They're actually really good. If you want a mouse catcher, Chihuahuas, from what I understand, I've never seen it, but I understand that's what they're actually good for, is rat and mouse catching. They'll rid your house of mice and crap real fast, but be honest, I think I'd rather have the mice. That's so sad. And I don't like mice. I don't like mice in my house. Mice don't bother me out in the yard. Don't want them in my damn house. They shit everywhere. Wouldn't even care if they didn't shit everywhere. Don't like freaking mouse turd everywhere. Yeah, Jack Russells are all right. They're a little hyper too, but they're kind of fun hyper. They're that mid-size, decent dog. That's a proper small dog, as far as I'm concerned. That's as small as they should get. Them little itty-bitty freaking rat dogs just annoy me. And again, I don't have anything against the individual dog. I've, had girlfriends that had them, and the dogs are fine. I get along with the dog, and they're ugly. And they're annoying if they're not trained. And most people won't train them proper. And the chicks carry them around in their freaking purses. It's just, why? I don't get it. Whatever. Not for me to get, I guess. Welcome to America. Do whatever the hell you want, as long as it don't bother me. You little rat dogs bother me. Boom. I wouldn't do that. Like I said, I actually like dogs. I don't even mind rat dogs as long as in individuals, so they're quiet. They seem to get louder when they're in groups. People that have 2 or 3 of them, they're more yappy. Individuals are usually pretty decent. Anyway, on that note, if no one's going to jump in here, I'm going to kill it, because that's that. Maybe somebody else will stream soon. It is Thanksgiving and all, and it's almost noon. It's 5 of noon. So there is that. And yeah. So I'm all done yakking because I got nothing to yak about. So I'm killing it. Later, guys. Have a halfway decent Thanksgiving. Eat some whatever you're going to eat, whether it be turkey or chicken or steak or lobster or crab meat or crow, squirrel, mole, whatever floats your boat. See yous.